let's start the next step, that is acrosomal reaction. In the first step we have seen that acrosomal reaction takes place. Sperm tries to penetrate the egg membrane. And now the second point, or I'll write here, sixth one, it is cortical reaction. Cortical reaction. Now cortical reaction involves some important events which check the polyspermy. First we will discuss what is a polyspermy, okay, and then we will see how zona pellucida, or what are the different ways by which secondary oocyte can prevent the polyspermy. Okay, so polyspermy means what? It is the fertilization of secondary oocyte by more than one sperm or entry of many sperm. It will not result in, or it will not result in twins, because twins will form differently. So that part we'll see after the completion of this point. Polyspermy can change the ploidy level. Usually what happens, one haploid male gamete fertilizes the haploid egg cell. Instead of one normal haploid male gamete, if 2 or 3 sperms at a time enters the secondary oocyte, it changes the ploidy level. Such zygote will not survive, or it will not grow ahead. Okay, so that is known as polyspermy. So to prevent the polyspermy, there are some mechanisms which takes place at the time of fertilization. Some reactions takes place very quickly, that is known as fast block to polyspermy. Okay? And another mechanism, it is known as slow block to polyspermy. So first we will see what is meant by fast block to polyspermy. Fast block to polyspermy. Fine. Fast block to polyspermy means what? This is the egg membrane. Okay, this is zona pellucida, and these are your corona radiata. Fine. Now, as soon as sperm head touches the zona pellucida, okay, as soon as this sperm layer or the sperm head, it touches the zona pellucida, from there by secreting the enzyme, it reaches up to the egg membrane. Fine. Now, as soon as sperm touches the egg membrane, it causes the depolarization of membrane. What is happening during fast block of polyspermy? First reaction we have seen, okay, that is known as acrosomal reaction. By acrosomal reaction, sperm penetrates the egg membrane and reach up to the actual here oogamma or the ooplasm membrane. When sperm comes in contact with the egg membrane, depolarization of membrane takes place. See what is happening? Depolarization of membrane takes place. Now, once sperm enters, it prevents the entry of another sperm. Fine. See what is happening. I told you that there is a reception cone. A membrane of secondary oocyte, it bulges. And then through that point, sperm enters inside the secondary oocyte. So suppose this is the point where reception cone has formed. Okay, reception cone has formed. Okay, so through this point, the sperm will enter. Okay, now when it enters, it causes the depolarization of membrane, and that result into release of calcium ions. Okay. Now once depolarization takes place, now membrane will not allow any another sperm to enter inside. Okay, so this is known as fast block to polyspermy. Fine. Now let's see what is meant by slow block to polyspermy. Fast block, then slow block to polyspermy. Okay, in case of slow block to polyspermy, cortical granules are involved. So actually this reaction, it is known as cortical reaction. See, I show here only this. Wait, draw another. This is the secondary oocyte. We have seen in the cytoplasm of secondary oocyte, some granules are present. These granules are known as cortical granules. These cortical granules are nothing but the aggregation of, yes, ribosomes, proteins, endoplasmic reticulum, rRNA, okay. These all are known as cortical granules. Now when sperm comes in contact with the membrane, at that time what happens? It triggers these cortical granules, okay, or the reaction of sperms with the membrane, okay. It arrange these cortical granules just beneath, okay, the oolemma. Fine. These cortical granules, they are distributed throughout the ooplasm. When fertilization starts, that time what happens? These cortical granules get settled or they form a layer, okay, just beneath the oolemma. Now outside to this oolemma, there is a, yes, perivitelline space. Now during this what happens? Once they get arranged beneath the oolemma, then they release their content in the perivitelline space. Okay, they release their content in perivitelline space. This block the polyspermy. It causes structural changes in zona pellucida. Thus, it prevents the entry of another sperm once one sperm entered in the secondary oocyte. Fine. So, these reactions takes place to prevent the polyspermy. Polyspermy, it is fertilization of one egg or ovum by more than one sperm. To prevent the polyspermy, cortical granules play a very important role. This is known as cortical reaction. After this, what is happening? The next step, completion of second meiotic division. Completion of second meiotic division and entry of sperm. Together we will take both these points. Entry of sperm. Because entry of sperm triggers the completion of second meiotic division. Now through the reception cone which is formed on the oolemma, sperm is taken in. Okay. Once sperm enters, the entire sperm, in humans, entire sperm along with tail, it enters into the secondary oocyte. The stimulus trigger the release of metaphase factors. Already we have learned in the process of oogenesis that secondary oocyte, it is arrested at metaphase 2 due to accumulation of metaphase factors. So these metaphase factors are broken and anaphase promoting complex it is formed that completes the second meiotic division and one ovum and second polar body it is produced. So entry of sperm is stimulates completion of second meiotic division that forms one ovum and one egg cell. Fine. And that forms one ovum and second polar body. So completion of second meiotic division after entry of sperm. Now once sperm enters, okay, all the parts of sperms are lost. Tail disintegrate, okay, mitochondria disintegrate except proximal centriole and nucleus of sperm. All structures are degenerating. Fine. So only nucleus of male sperm or the sperm it remains and the proximal centrioles. Only these two structures remain. Rest of the parts they are degenerating. Now next see what is happening in the next reaction. Amphimixis. Amphimixis, or you can say karyogamy. Now egg or ovum it is formed. Okay, sperm it is also present, or the sperm nucleus it is also present. Now here what is happening? Now this is the secondary oocyte. The nucleus of secondary oocyte is now converted into nucleus of egg or ovum. Now here nuclear membrane start disappearing and it results into formation of female pronucleus. Female pronucleus. Now the nucleus of egg cell become female pronucleus and nucleus of sperm become male pronucleus. Okay, nucleus of sperm become male pronucleus. Nuclear membranes start disappearing. Okay, and now there are female pronucleus and there is a male pronucleus. Amphimixis or karyogamy is nothing but the fusion of chromatin. So here what is happening? Chromosomes of female and chromosomes are male. Obviously haploid set of each of that. So the haploid set of chromosome from female and male, they range or they align to each other, and that result into a formation of diploid cell, that is zygote. Yes. So we can call it as an amphimixis or karyogamy. Pronucleus has formed. Is a female pronucleus. There is a male pronucleus. Chromosomes of both. They form their homologous pairing. And now that cell will result into a diploid zygote. Fine. So this is the last step in fertilization, that is amphimixis or karyogamy. Amphimixis or karyogamy result in formation of a diploid zygote. Okay. Now once zygote it is formed, it immediately starts dividing. So the mitotic divisions which takes place in zygote, it is known as cleavage. Right? That part we will discuss in next lecture. So this is the overall process of fertilization in human. For NEET, one important question can come, that is the sequence. Okay, the sequence of the steps of fertilization. Afterwards I will send you one video also. So from that also you will understand the entire process of fertilization in better way, that how fertilization is occurring. So these are the steps in fertilization. Very easy, very interesting. Now after this we will study how twins are formed. Okay, very interesting part. You might be curious to know how twins are formed. Okay. So twins, as I told you, twins are not formed because of polyspermy. Polyspermy can change the ploidy level, but it will not result into formation of twins. Now twins are of two types. Okay, first one, dizygotic twins. Dizygotic twins or fraternal twins. Okay, we are learning point of twins. Dizygotic or fraternal twins. Now dizygotic twins means what? Normally from each ovary only one secondary oocyte is released during every reproductive cycle. Abnormally this may happen that instead of one, two secondary oocytes are released, either from same ovary or from one from both the ovaries. Here what is happening? Two secondary oocytes are formed. Okay. So we will draw like this. Two different secondary oocytes are produced. Okay. Either from same ovary or one from both the ovaries. If both these secondary oocytes got fertilized by two different sperms, as we know that there are so many sperms, so if both the secondary oocytes got fertilized by two different sperms, then two different zygotes will form. Two zygotes can implant separately in the uterus. Now in uterus lot of space is there, two zygotes can easily implant. So these two zygotes can grow into twins. Now here these twins are not identical. Genetically they are different. Okay. Why they are not identical? Because there are two different secondary oocytes. Obviously they got fertilized by two different sperm. It may happen that one sperm has X chromosome, another sperm has Y chromosome, or it may happen that they may have both of them, they may have X chromosome, or both of them they may have Y chromosome. So in fraternal twins it is not required that both the siblings, they could be girl or they could be boy. It could be one girl, one boy, or both the girls or both boys. But they are genetically dissimilar because two different ova, two different sperms, two different zygote, two different embryos. So they are genetically, okay, non-identical. Okay. So such twins are known as dizygotic twins or fraternal twins. The second type, that is monozygotic twins. Monozygotic twins or maternal twins. Monozygotic twins or maternal twins. In case of monozygotic twins, siblings or twins can look similar to each other because they are formed by splitting of only one zygote. Means what is happening? There is only one secondary oocyte. Okay, that secondary oocyte got fertilized by one sperm normally. This will result in formation of one zygote. Okay, a zygote with two end ploidy. Okay, now zygote during its further growth, it divides in two parts. Okay, so this zygote starts its division, okay, and gets separated in two parts. Fine. Now each of that part, okay, will implant separately and will grow into two individuals. Means what? There is involvement of only one ovum and one sperm. Zygote is also one. During its development, during its embryonic development, it divides into two parts. Okay, and then each of that parts get implanted separately. Okay, and then it will result into two individuals. In this case, the sex of individuals will be same. So if it is girl, both will be girl or both will be boys. But genetically it is not required that every time they are 100% identical, because during every division kind of mutations are occurring. So their genes, their genetic composition, it is not 100% same. Okay. So such twins are known as monozygotic twins. Now usually what happens, separation of these two groups, they takes place before 8 weeks. Okay, before 8 days of the development. Means after fertilization, within 8 days, if zygote divides or the embryo divides in two halves, then it will result into monozygotic twins, two different individuals. But if this separation takes place after 8 days of fertilization, then it may happen that some parts of the body may remain attached to each other. Fine. So such type of twins are known as Siamese twins. Okay. Such type of twins are known as Siamese twins. Siamese twins are also monozygotic twins. Fine. But separation of the cells or the embryonic cells takes place after 8 days of fertilization. If zygote divides before 8 days after fertilization, then both the individuals would be separated from each other. Two different individuals properly can form, but they have same sex. Such twins are known as monozygotic twins or maternal twins. If embryo divides, okay, after 8 days of fertilization, then some parts of their bodies may remain attached to each other. So such condition, such twins are known as Siamese twins. Fine. Many times you might have seen such babies. So such individuals or such twins are known as Siamese twins. Now, by means of operation, both the individuals, they can be separated from each other, but it depends upon which organ or which part of the body it is commonly shared. Okay, so that is solely depends upon those surgeons which are going to operate or which are going to study those twins. So such individuals or such twins are known as Siamese twins. Okay, where some body parts they are attached, okay, or they are commonly shared. Okay, So in this way twins are formed. So today we have completed the process of fertilization and we have seen how zygote is formed. In the next class we will study what is cleavage. Okay, that is a special type of mitotic division which takes place in zygote. How it differs from the normal mitosis, types of cleavages. Okay, and then we will see the embryology part, which is very interesting. So after that we will study embryology, how embryo develop into fetus, okay, and how different organs of baby is formed. Okay, so for the day you have to revise this part. In the next class, okay, we will start the part of cleavage and embryology.